Hi, my name is Samreen Anjum, and I'm a PhD student at the University of Texas at Austin. I'm excited to present this work with Cheelin and my advisor, Dr. Danna Gurari, in which we explore crowdsourcing strategies to track multiple objects in videos. We often see videos being used to track multiple objects to study their behavior and interactions over time. In short, this task is referred to as MOT, and as you can see, it is valuable for several applications, including the medical domain, where researchers study cells to help with treating cancers or healing wounds. In this case, objects also split into multiple new objects, as we see in the cell video here, and this is called lineage tracking. These videos often contain several thousand frames, so tracking multiple objects can be a time-consuming and complicated task. So in recent years, crowdsourcing has emerged as a powerful solution, as it is both cost-effective and scalable for large data sets. There has been significant development in this area. However, two key limitations still exist. First, most solutions rely on expert annotators, which greatly reduces the worker pool and limits the scalability. And second, existing solutions have been evaluated only on specific domains. For example, videos showing familiar objects such as people or cars, or unfamiliar objects such as biological cells. So in this work, we focus on designing strategies such that the MOT task can be as simple as possible to engage a larger pool of crowd workers. Second, we wanted to examine the efficacy of these strategies on a diverse range of videos showing both familiar and unfamiliar content. And finally, we developed CrowdMOT, a new crowdsourcing system to implement these strategies. First, we looked at two different options to decompose this complex task into smaller micro-tasks. To illustrate, we represent here a video with 6 frames and 3 different objects. We first analyzed the strategy recommended by prior work, in which a video is split into smaller segments and each segment is assigned to a different worker. In this example, we see this video being divided into 3 segments, with each color indicating a different worker. A worker is responsible for annotating all the objects in one small segment, which are then merged together with other segments to produce the final video. We call this method single segment annotation, or SIGCHI. However, when we tested this approach with non-expert workers, we noticed several problems which we elaborate in our paper. For example, most workers annotated only few objects in the video, and so the end results had inconsistent number of annotated objects. Instead, we propose to simplify this task further and ask a person to mark only one object for the entire video so that the annotations remain consistent. We refer to this task as single object annotation, or SIGCHI. To examine these strategies, we conducted experiments with 20 videos, of which 10 showed people and the remaining 10 showed cells. We used Amazon Mechanical Turk and ensured workers had basic qualifications. For evaluation, we used 3 common metrics, and all these scores ranged from 0 to 1, with 1 being the highest. So with the results we see for all 3 metrics, SIGCHI strategy, shown here in bold, produced higher quality annotations for all videos by a large margin. And if we dig deeper, we see it is consistently outperforming SIGCHI approach in both sets of videos showing cells or people, demonstrating its generalizability. For our second strategy, we were curious to examine the effect of non-iterative versus iterative tasks. For the non-iterative tasks, workers were given unannotated videos and parallelly asked to annotate an object. In the iterative tasks, workers were allowed to see the previous worker's annotations and build on the work together. We performed a similar experiment here, but with a larger data set of 66 videos showing cells. We observed workers perform better when they were able to see previous annotations. We also observed that the non-iterative round, a larger chunk of videos that is shown here in gray, had low quality annotations, while in the iterative round, only 2 were deemed as low quality. This further demonstrated that there is an advantage to having workers see previous annotations. Finally, to implement these strategies, we developed a new system called CrowdMOT, which includes features to support broader participation and videos. We have released an initial version of our annotation framework, and we encourage you to experiment annotating your videos with it. Thank you.